Here's a movie review from someone who doesn't care about movie reviews. You know I'm L Man, and here's my review for the movie Corrective Measures. One, thanks Tubi for sending me this unreleased film. Corrective Measures takes place at San Tiburon, an Ubermax prison hidden at the Great Northwest, which houses monsters, cyborgs, and supervillains, all of whose behavior is controlled by 24-hour power inhibitors and shock collars. Here's my reaction. These are my opinions and do not reflect the views of It Came from the Radio. Here we go. Do I recommend this movie? Well, this movie really transported me into a jail. So if you feel like being in a jail for about 2 hours, this movie might be for you. I felt like I was in a dingy jail with bad fluorescent lighting for the hour and 47 plus minutes. Unfortunately, my dad, me, and my dad's brother, my uncle, all have scotopic sensitivity syndrome and or photophobia, which means we get very sick from fluorescent lighting. So I prefer my home and movies to have calm amber lighting, but it'd be pretty weird to romantically light a jail setting. So, I can talk about lighting forever. We're going to move on. I really like X-Men. This reminded me of X-Men. So if you like X-Men, you might like this kind of like a low budget X-Men set in a jail, sort of, with I'd say lower development of the characters. So at the 60-minute mark, there's a giant battle between the superhuman supervillains who have super strength, the ability to crush people with ease, electrocute them to death, gas them, destroy them with laser beams. And this fight scene is really like X-Men goes to jail, but they have kind of a budget. There's no big waves or wind or tornadoes or hurricanes. There's no helicopters. There's no gigantic creatures like Godzilla. Um, you could tell there was some type of a budget, or if there was a budget, it was pocketed. No shade, again, no shade, man. I just don't really like the feeling of being in a jail. So any movie that's set in a jail or the dusty Wild West, or like New York City, anything that looks like it might smell like urine or not smell great, it's just a little tough for me. So sorry, but that's just me. I have very sensitive eyes. As you can see, I have no lights on right now. All right, moving on. The corrupt warden was played by Michael Rooker, a very fun and dynamic character, probably the best character in the film. He brought to mind Natural Born Killers movie, which is great because that's a phenomenal movie. So Michael Rooker to me was my favorite. Haley Sales was very pretty and very sweet as well, but Michael Rooker was a little quirky and a little crazy, and I like that. So I would have liked to see a lot more comedy and development of the characters. Maybe like, who are these people? Do they have quirks? Do they have addictions? Um, do they have crazy pasts? I don't feel like I got to know any of the characters all that much, and I would have liked to maybe hear some secrets from Haley Sales' doctor character and a little more on Michael Rooker's character. I would have liked to see Bruce Willis do some more interesting things. To me, it felt a little flat, but you have to also remember my favorite movies are Fight Club and Zoolander, which are really over the top and outlandish. So personally, for any movie I watch, I like it to be satirical, have calming lighting, nature scenes, luxury cars, beautiful faces, hair and makeup. I'm wearing a wig right now, and jokes and jokes and jokes. This movie didn't really have any of that. So, but I got specific taste. So, again, no shade. If you're in the mood for some masculine energy, which what is masculine nowadays, that's really up for debate. If you want some typical tough guy energy, violence, so a lot of interesting fighting scenes, and you want to learn a few creative ways to murder people, then maybe this movie's for you. I would have liked to see the murders be a little bit more creative. I think they could have been a little wilder on that front. Personally, just side note, this whole thing is side notes. I would like to see someone have a turkey sandwich shoved down their throat, just turkey sandwich shoved down your throat. Because sometimes when people are talking like me right now, it's just like, can we just shove a turkey sandwich down their throat and call it a day? All right. I love the concept of superpowers that could be shut on or shut off, which I think they could have done more with in this film. I think it would have been really cool to have one of the superheroes with maybe super libido, and he's doing a love scene, or she, and they have super crazy libido, and then the warden, the people in the jail, shut off the superpower, and he has no libido. And then he has super libido and no libido, and super libido and no libido. That would be kind of funny for a love scene. I think that'd be pretty funny. A cool superpower that I liked was there was someone called the conductor in this film, and he could conduct electrical energy. So I'll leave you with this. I say this all the time. Us humans, we are superconductors, especially if you're hydrated. So if you feel like you have low energy, you just don't feel electric and you want that more electric feel, hydrate more. So, one, you can have foods that are naturally hydrated, like grapes, cucumbers, melons, watermelons. They hydrate us more than just drinking water, which can just go through us. So, to stay hydrated longer term, have the foods that are naturally hydrating, and they have the fiber and the interstitial tissue, which helps you to have a slow release of the hydration. It's kind of like a slowly release Adderall, rather than just all at once drinking water, because water can go through you. And number two, you can cut out dehydrated foods like cereals, breads, chips, granolas. Have more of the hydrated food to feel more like a super powered superconductor. So, this has been my strange review of the film Corrective Measures. You know how I feel about movie reviews. I think they're silly. I don't think it matters what I think, but it gives you a little insight into this film. Thanks for listening. And now back to more. It came from the radio.